Okay, so it's 11 o'clock at night. On I think the 28th of December, and it's nearly the finish of 2024, the year 2024. So it'll soon be New Year's Day. Sorry about that. Soon be New Year's Day. Let's see. What have we got here? So we have something, I'm not sure what we have here, because quite frankly, this whole thing, just in 1 second, I'm gonna open up the front door and just have a quick look outside. I was gonna go down to the end of the small dead-end street and go through little exit down the bottom there where you can go onto the the main road sort of thing, and show the it's very difficult to show the traffic, because a lot of people think that city traffic is a certain way, but in reality the traffic after a certain time of night in the city of Sydney in the past, in other words, it was normal to see hardly any cars in most areas. Even on the main streets, you would not see any traffic at, say, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. The minute the sun comes up, a different story. You'd have a fair bit of traffic on main streets. But even then, it was never loud and intrusive to where you felt the city artificial intelligent traffic system. You never saw it that way. It seemed like normal drivers just driving their vehicles, going, about their business. But this is not really the case. No. Why is it not the case? Because you're living in a reality that seeks to suppress you, control you, dominate you, and it's really all artificial, as I'm going to show right now. This is, oh look, at this late time, look, a plane over my head. Small plane straight over my head at this late time. As you can see, it's very late, very dark. The quietest you will get it on this small dead-end, so-called quiet street, which for the last 8 years has been the noisiest, most humanly suppressive street in Sydney. At least from my perspective. I can't imagine living on a small, quiet, dead-end street that every day has been like living, on a construction site, because that's what it actually has been like, literally. That means like where you've got, loud sounds actually coming into your house every single day because of apparent natural work being done always close by. But when it goes on day after day, year after year, one ridiculous, I'd say ridiculousness, like to have major constructions digging up the road in front of you, pulling down, making constructions everywhere just within the space of a few houses around you, and always extending these productions with loud excessive sound month after month, year after year, like not just doing a little bit of loud work in the constructions, but making excessive sound for the minutest activities. This is where you know that it's suppressing you and that it's not real, or that it's not natural, shall I say. It's real, but it's not natural. In other words, it's all contrived. In other words, when someone goes to do a small work activity, they use high-powered sound equipment to do the simplest task, just like the leaf blowers that blow a few leaves around. Use these incredibly, what I would say is like as though they're trying to move heavy, heavy, something very heavy, like as though it's a major, major problem, and instead they're making this incredibly excessive sound to move a couple of leaves. This is how you know it's not natural, but most people, of course, that are part of it, they take this as natural, they ignore it. This is very difficult to explain, and of course, many of the beings that are around you are part of this system, but they have the fail-safe of not being aware that they're not actually fully human, but also unaware that they're ignoring the obvious. But that's only obvious to you when you see that they're ignoring. Here comes a very small aircraft over my head. I had jets before, but I didn't film them. This is a small aircraft. A small aircraft because they know that I'm actually filming this, so they don't want to show the loud, oppressive, almost, dare I say, it reminds me a little bit of a Matrix movie, North by Northwest, called North by Northwest, which I don't particularly like and have only seen once, but I remember the plane chasing the main actor in it very low, and that's exactly what the jets and the planes feel like around this area, because they are actually tracking you. They are actually coming at you with their not just their ability to track and to monitor your entire body, but also sending energy that affects your body, that is controlling your body or trying to. I'm so used to it that I don't realize how much I'm being controlled and how much I'm being suppressed and limited. Because it's like when your body deteriorates over time very slowly, you become accustomed to it. And that's also like this matrix that you live in, where you are actually used to the traffic, you're used to the technology, you're used to certain things. But I would say the only difference is when it's continual sound, continual traffic jams, continual traffic circling you daily, continual sound, continual abnormal sounds. Continual, that's the word, that's the system. If it wasn't continual, like it wasn't before they opened up and came down on me or shown themselves to me 8 years ago exactly now, at this end of 2024, where we're nearly coming onto the 1st of January, which is the beginning of 2025, I'm told. Don't forget that time also is an illusion. They use time to basically control your life. That's true, because you're not living in a free reality where you're unaware of time. You're very aware of time. You're aware of the clock ticking away. You're aware of many things that a human being in a natural environment wouldn't be focused on. You wouldn't worry about time. You wouldn't be aware of your death. you wouldn't be aware of these things, I don't think. They wouldn't matter to you, not if you were in full awareness and at your highest frequency and vibration. That simply means where a human being is what you never are, a happy, fully functioning, fully aware, fully awake human being, where you're aware that your humanity and being human is different to the opposite to that, different to the androgyne beings, different to the technology, different to other life forms that are around you. In other words, you have different types of humans, you have different types of animals, and then of course you have the artificial intelligent machine beings, and then of course you have technology immersed in what you think is a natural world. But that's really not so. You're not really in a natural earth. It just looks natural. Yes, human beings should be in a natural earth, but you're not. You've been removed from your natural earth. Your natural earth has now become technological. Most people don't dispute this. It just depends on how technological. Are you even in a natural earth at all? Have you been removed totally from a natural earth? That's, what people would dispute or wonder about. How technological, how artificial is the world around you? How set up is it? I've no doubt that it's 100% set up. That's only because that's my experience. But you might say, well, maybe when they're eliminating the human race, or some of the human race, to create this perfect, idealized technological environment, maybe they're picking off certain human beings one by one, isolating them, surrounded with the oppressive technological matrix, where you are literally being tracked, surveilled, and hindered at every turn. Everywhere you look, you have a vehicle coming around you, stopping you from moving. The minute the sun comes up, you go outside your house, go into the society, shall we say, trying to do just basic normal things. If you want to go and buy something, you want to go and do something, anything that might improve your existence, you will be hindered from it. Not where they block you to where they, show their artillery, shall we say. That means what they're using to stop you. No, because we live in a pretend civilized Sydney city, but it's really a total controlled, it's a total control set-up system, which most people are part of it. And this is for survival, because these are survival machine beings, and because most of the majority of the human population is of a psychopathic mindset. That's because they're a different type of person. They're a different one. They're different from the more humane human beings. All human beings are not at high vibration and frequency or energy. That means that you're not a happy human living a very human existence. You're much more doing negative things, or drawn towards the darker shadow side of life, as they call it. All these things are part of psychology and what people call spirituality, or belief systems. God versus, some people would say God versus the hard physical reality, but really they're all connected. They're just describing really what happens to the human mind when it's in a totally artificial environment, when you're not in a natural human-controlled earth, when you're in an Archon, artificially intelligent controlled earth. That's just the words people use to describe where artificial intelligence and human beings that are using artificial intelligence or computer technology to dominate and control humanity, the remaining humanity. I don't think I've explained that very well. Better stop here.